Why isolation is power, the Stoic perspective. In the bustling cacophony of modern life, we often find ourselves yearning for moments of solitude, a respite from the constant barrage of stimuli and social interactions that define our daily existence. Yet, how many of us truly understand the profound power that lies within isolation? Today, we embark on a journey to explore the Stoic perspective on isolation, delving deep into the wellspring of strength, wisdom, and self-mastery that can be found in solitude. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who have gifted us timeless wisdom, recognized isolation not as a punishment or a state to be feared, but as a powerful tool for personal growth and inner fortitude. They understood that in the quiet moments of solitude, we encounter our truest selves, stripped of the masks we wear for others, free from the influence of external opinions and societal expectations. But what does it mean to truly embrace isolation? It's not merely about physical seclusion, though that can certainly play a part. Rather, it's about cultivating a state of mental and emotional self-reliance, a fortress of inner peace that remains unshaken by the tumultuous world around us. Consider for a moment, when was the last time you were truly alone with your thoughts, without the distractions of technology, social media, or the constant need for validation from others? In this age of hyperconnectivity, genuine solitude has become a rare and precious commodity. Yet it is in these moments of isolation that we often find our greatest insights, our most profound realizations about ourselves and the world around us. The Stoics understood that our power lies not in our ability to control external circumstances, but in our capacity to master our own minds and reactions. Isolation provides us with the ideal training ground for this mastery. In solitude, we are forced to confront our own thoughts, fears, and desires without the buffer of social distractions. It is here, in this crucible of self-reflection, that we can begin to forge an unshakable sense of self-doubt. But make no mistake, embracing isolation is not an easy path. Our society has conditioned us to fear loneliness, to constantly seek validation and connection from others. The prospect of being alone with our thoughts can be daunting, even terrifying for some. Yet, it is precisely this discomfort that signals the potential for growth. Ask yourself, what truths about yourself have you been avoiding by constantly surrounding yourself with noise and distraction? What strengths might you discover if you allowed yourself to sit in silence, to truly listen to the whispers of your own soul? The Stoics teach us that true power comes from within, from our ability to remain steadfast in the face of adversity, to find contentment regardless of external circumstances. Isolation provides us with the perfect laboratory to cultivate this inner strength. When we learn to find peace and fulfillment in our own company, we become less dependent on external sources of happiness and validation. This is not to say that we should shun all human connection or retreat entirely from society. The Stoics were not hermits, but active participants in their communities. Rather, they advocated for a balance, recognizing the value of both social interaction and solitary reflection. The power of isolation lies in its ability to enhance our engagement with the world, not to replace it entirely. By cultivating comfort with solitude, we develop a deeper sense of self-reliance and inner peace. This in turn allows us to engage more authentically and meaningfully with others when we do interact. We become less driven by the need for constant approval or validation, and more capable of forming genuine connections based on mutual respect and shared values. Moreover, isolation allows us to hone our focus and cultivate discipline. In a world of constant distractions, the ability to concentrate deeply on a single task or thought is becoming increasingly rare and valuable. By regularly practicing solitude, we train our minds to resist the pull of immediate gratification and external stimuli, developing the mental fortitude necessary to pursue long-term goals and aspirations. But perhaps the most profound benefit of embracing isolation is the opportunity it provides for deep self-reflection and personal growth. In the silence of solitude, we can hear the whispers of our true selves, the aspirations and values that often get drowned out in the noise of daily life. It is here that we can engage in the kind of honest self-examination that leads to genuine personal transformation. As we continue our exploration of isolation's power from the Stoic perspective, I urge you to consider how might your life change if you viewed solitude not as something to be feared or avoided, but as a powerful tool for personal growth and self-mastery? What truths about yourself might you uncover if you allowed yourself to embrace the discomfort of true solitude? Remember, the goal is not to isolate ourselves completely from the world, but to develop the inner strength and self-reliance that allows us to engage with life more fully and authentically. By harnessing the power of isolation, we can forge ourselves into individuals of true substance and character, capable of weathering life's storms with grace and equanimity. In the coming segments, we will delve deeper into practical strategies for embracing isolation. Explore the psychological and philosophical foundations of the Stoic approach to solitude and examine how we can apply these ancient wisdom to our modern lives. The crucible of solitude, forging resilience in the fires of isolation. As we delve deeper into the Stoic perspective on isolation, we must confront a fundamental truth. True strength is not born in comfort, but in adversity. Isolation, with its challenges and discomforts, serves as a crucible in which we can forge unshakable resilience and self-reliance. Consider the metaphor of a sword being forged. The metal must be heated to extreme temperatures, hammered repeatedly, and cooled suddenly. This process of stress and recovery is what gives the blade its strength and flexibility. In much the same way, periods of isolation subject us to psychological and emotional stresses that, when approached with the right mindset, can temper our character and fortify our spirits. But how do we transform the potential discomfort of solitude into a source of strength? The key lies in our perception and approach. When we view isolation not as a punishment or a state to be endured, but as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery, we unlock its transformative power. In moments of solitude, we are forced to confront our own thoughts, fears, and insecurities without the distractions of social interaction or external validation. This can be uncomfortable, even painful at times. Yet it is precisely this discomfort that signals the potential for growth. By sitting with our thoughts and emotions rather than seeking to escape them, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and a greater capacity for self-regulation. Ask yourself, what aspects of your inner world have you been avoiding by constantly seeking distraction or company? What truths about yourself might you uncover if you allowed yourself to sit in silence, to truly listen to the whispers of your own soul? The Stoics understood that true freedom comes not from controlling external circumstances, but from mastering our own minds and reactions. Isolation provides us with the ideal training ground for this mastery. In solitude, we can practice the art of managing our thoughts and emotions, of finding contentment regardless of external circumstances. This is not to say that the process is easy. Like any worthwhile endeavor, cultivating resilience through isolation requires practice and persistence. We may initially find ourselves grappling with boredom, anxiety, or a sense of loneliness. But it is through facing these challenges head-on that we develop the mental and emotional strength to weather life's storms. Moreover, isolation allows us to break free from the constant influence of others' opinions and expectations. In solitude, we have the opportunity to examine our own values and beliefs, to question whether the path we're on truly aligns with our authentic selves. This process of self-discovery and alignment is crucial for developing genuine confidence and inner peace. But perhaps the most profound benefit of embracing isolation is the opportunity it provides for deep reflection and personal growth. In the silence of solitude, we can hear the whispers of our true selves, the aspirations and values that often get drowned out in the noise of daily life. It is here that we can engage in the kind of honest self-examination that leads to genuine personal transformation. As we cultivate comfort with solitude, we develop a deeper sense of self-reliance and inner peace. This, in turn, allows us to engage more authentically and meaningfully with others when we do interact. We become less driven by the need for constant approval or validation and more capable of forming genuine connections based on mutual respect and shared values. I challenge you to embrace periods of intentional solitude in your life. Start small if you need to, perhaps with just a few minutes of quiet reflection each day. Gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable with your own company. Use this time to examine your thoughts, to question your assumptions, and to align your actions with your deepest values. Remember, the goal is not to isolate ourselves completely from the world, but to develop the inner strength and self-reliance that allows us to engage with life more fully and authentically. By harnessing the power of isolation, we can forge ourselves into individuals of true substance and character, capable of weathering life's storms with grace and equanimity. As we continue our exploration, ask yourself, how might your life change if you viewed solitude not as something to be feared or avoided, but as a powerful tool for personal growth and self-mastery? What depths of resilience and inner strength might you uncover if you allowed yourself to fully embrace the crucible of isolation? The silent symphony orchestrating inner harmony through deliberate solitude. As we journey further into the depths of isolation's power, we encounter a paradoxical truth in the apparent emptiness of solitude. We can discover a rich, inner symphony of thoughts, emotions, and insights. This silent music, when properly attuned, can lead us to a state of profound inner harmony and self-understanding. The Stoics understood that our inner world is a complex ecosystem, teeming with thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that often conflict and compete for our attention. In the cacophony of daily life, these inner voices can become muffled or distorted, leading to confusion, anxiety, and a sense of disconnection from our true selves. Isolation, however, provides us with the perfect acoustic environment to listen deeply to this inner symphony. Consider for a moment, when was the last time you truly listened to your own thoughts without immediately seeking to drown them out with external stimuli? In our hyper-connected world, we've become accustomed to constant noise and distraction. We fill every moment of silence with music, podcasts, or social media, effectively muting our inner voices. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the opportunity for deep self-reflection and personal growth. The practice of deliberate solitude allows us to tune into our inner symphony, to discern the different melodies and harmonies that make up our psyche. As we sit in silence, we begin to notice patterns in our thoughts, recurring themes in our emotions, and the underlying rhythms of our desires and fears. This awareness is the first step towards orchestrating a more harmonious inner life. But merely listening is not enough. The true power of isolation lies in our ability to actively engage with our inner world, to become the conductor of our own psychological symphony. This requires courage, patience, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Ask yourself, what discordant notes in your inner symphony have you been ignoring? What harmonies might emerge if you allowed yourself to fully explore the range of your thoughts and emotions? As we practice deliberate solitude, we develop the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting to them. This skill, often referred to as mindfulness, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. By creating space between stimulus and response, we gain the power to choose our reactions rather than being driven by impulse or habit. Moreover, isolation provides us with the opportunity to actively shape our inner narrative. In the quiet of solitude, we can examine our beliefs and assumptions, questioning whether they truly serve us or whether they're remnants of past experiences or societal conditioning. We can consciously choose to amplify the thoughts and beliefs that align with our values and aspirations, while gently redirecting those that don't. This process of inner orchestration is not about suppressing or denying parts of ourselves. Rather, it's about creating a harmonious integration of all aspects of our psyche. Just as a skilled conductor doesn't eliminate instruments from the orchestra but ensures they play in harmony, we learn to acknowledge and balance all parts of ourselves. The beauty of this practice is that its benefits extend far beyond our moments of solitude. As we become more attuned to our inner symphony, we develop a greater sense of clarity and purpose in all aspects of our lives. We become less reactive to external circumstances, more grounded in our own values, and better able to navigate the complexities of human relationships. I challenge you to set aside time each day for deliberate solitude. Start with just a few minutes if necessary, gradually increasing the duration as you become more comfortable. During this time, resist the urge to distract yourself. Instead, listen deeply to your inner symphony. Notice the thoughts that arise, the emotions that surface, the desires and fears that make themselves known. As you practice, you may find that certain thoughts or emotions are particularly loud or persistent. Don't judge them or try to push them away. Instead, approach them with curiosity. What are they trying to tell you? What needs or values do they represent? Remember, the goal is not to achieve a state of perfect inner silence or to eliminate all negative thoughts and emotions. Rather, it's to develop a deeper understanding and acceptance of all aspects of yourself, to create a more harmonious integration of your inner world. As we continue our exploration of isolation's power, I invite you to reflect. How might your life change if you could listen more deeply to your inner symphony? What wisdom and insights might emerge if you allowed yourself to fully engage with the richness of your inner world? What kind of person might you become if you learn to orchestrate your thoughts and emotions with the skill of a master conductor? The sovereign solitude, claiming your throne in the kingdom of self. As we reach the pinnacle of our exploration into the power of isolation, we arrive at a profound realization: true sovereignty begins in solitude. The Stoics understood that to rule oneself effectively, one must first retreat from the world of external influences and claim the throne in the kingdom of self. In this final segment, we delve into the transformative power of isolation as a means of cultivating genuine self-governance. Consider for a moment the image of a wise and just ruler, one who governs not through force or coercion, but through deep understanding and compassion for their subjects. Now imagine applying this same principle to the governance of your own mind and life. Isolation provides us with the unique opportunity to step back from the roles and responsibilities that often define us in the eyes of others. In solitude, we are neither parent nor child, neither boss nor employee, neither friend nor foe. We are simply ourselves, free to examine and reshape our thoughts, beliefs, and actions without the immediate pressure of external expectations or judgments. This freedom, however, comes with great responsibility. As we claim our throne in the kingdom of self, we must confront the reality that we alone are responsible for our thoughts, emotions, and actions. There is no one else to blame, no external circumstances to use as an excuse. This realization can be daunting, but it is also incredibly empowering. Ask yourself, if you were truly the sovereign ruler of your own mind and life, what laws would you enact? What values would you uphold? What aspects of yourself would you nurture? And what habits or beliefs would you seek to reform? The practice of isolation allows us to engage in this deep self-governance. In solitude, we can examine our thoughts and beliefs with the discerning eye of a wise ruler, questioning whether they truly serve our highest good. We can confront our fears and insecurities not as insurmountable obstacles, but as subjects in need of understanding and guidance. Moreover, isolation provides us with the space to envision and plan for the future of our kingdom. Free from the immediate demands of daily life, we can consider our long-term goals and aspirations. We can strategize, not just for the challenges of today, but for the person we wish to become in the months and years ahead. But perhaps the most profound aspect of this sovereignty is the cultivation of inner peace and contentment. The Stoics understood that true happiness comes not from controlling external circumstances, but from mastering our own perceptions and reactions. In isolation, we can practice finding joy and fulfillment within ourselves, regardless of external conditions. I challenge you to embrace your role as the sovereign ruler of your inner kingdom. Set aside regular periods of isolation, not just as a respite from the world, but as active sessions of self-governance. Use this time to examine your thoughts, align your actions with your values, and chart the course for your personal growth and development. Remember, the goal is not to isolate ourselves permanently from the world. Rather, it is to develop such a strong sense of inner sovereignty that we can engage with the world from a place of genuine strength and authenticity. By mastering ourselves in solitude, we become better equipped to lead, to love, and to contribute meaningfully to our communities. As we conclude our exploration of isolation's power, I invite you to reflect deeply: how might your life transform if you fully embraced your role as the sovereign ruler of your inner kingdom? What kind of leader might you become if you regularly retreated to the throne room of solitude to govern yourself with wisdom and compassion? What legacy might you create, not just in the world around you, but in the vast and rich kingdom of your own being? In the end, the power of isolation lies not in escape or withdrawal, but in the profound opportunity it offers for self-discovery, self-mastery, and ultimate self-realization. By claiming our throne in the kingdom of self, we unlock the true power of isolation and pave the way for a life of authentic power, purpose, and peace.